Warning, the information and interviews shared on this program might be found to be quite useful. Hi there, and welcome to another episode of For Mature Audiences, a show for the senior community and those who love them.
Now, if you didn't know, June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. So our show today will focus on local resources available to you, your family, or your friends that may be traveling through the Alzheimer's and dementia journey.
And it's likely that you know someone with some form of dementia because there are nearly 7 million Americans living with a dementia diagnosis, and 1 in 3 seniors are dying from Alzheimer's or another dementia. In fact, here is a startling statistic for you. Between the years of 2000 and 2021, deaths related to heart disease have decreased by 2.1%, while deaths from Alzheimer's and dementia have increased by a whopping 141% in that same time frame.
And right here in our region alone, there are nearly 300,000 people living with a dementia diagnosis. Many are more likely living with the disease and just don't know it.
I had the opportunity to speak with Sharon Covert, Executive Director of the Alzheimer's Association West Virginia chapter, about the disease and how the Alzheimer's Association can help. Sharon, a lot of folks hear the terms dementia and Alzheimer's, and oftentimes they may not understand the difference between the two. If you could please start off by explaining what the difference between dementia and Alzheimer's are.
Sure. Dementia is like an umbrella. It is a type of disease, like, say, cancer is a type of disease. Alzheimer's is one kind of dementia. You may hear of a dementia like Lewy body syndrome or frontotemporal dementia, which is what Bruce Willis has, or Alzheimer's disease. And Alzheimer's disease is characterized by plaque in the brain, which is unique to that type of dementia. It's one of the most common types of dementia, but that is, I don't know if there's a difference so much as just the semantics between the two terms.
Yeah, sure. And so the Alzheimer's Association is the world's leading organization to help combat Alzheimer's and all other dementia. If you could please tell us exactly what the mission is of the Alzheimer's Association.
Well, you said it. And we want to do this through research, through care and support services, through diversity and inclusion in all of our programs to make sure that everyone has what they need to navigate this disease, and through advocacy and public policy. And so, locally, we've just passed our third piece of unanimous legislation in West Virginia. Ohio just had a task force approved through their legislature. So, we've been very successful in that way at the local level and then at the federal level for different types of legislation to support caregivers and to support the infrastructure in states. And we offer support groups. We have them that meet in person. We have them that meet online. We have a 24/7 helpline. We go out into the communities and do education programs, do caregiver training. So there's a great assortment of things that we do. We try to meet people where they are and offer them what they need. The helpline is a great place to start, 800-272-3900, to just find out, to just tell them maybe what you're experiencing, and maybe they'll have some suggestions from there. I always suggest either alz.org or the helpline be your first step.
And those are great resources to kind of guide you in the right direction. But aside from those resources, tell us, because there are some community engagement events also that people in the local community can take advantage of. And if you could please tell us a little bit about those.
A lot of the things that when people first get this diagnosis, there's some pretty standard responses. And one is to kind of be in denial and not do anything. And other people get it and think, I've got to do something right now. And so, they start Googling it and they find us, and maybe they sign up for one of the walks to end Alzheimer's that we have around the country. All you do is go to alz.org/walk, and you can enter your zip code and they'll tell you what's closest to you. People can get involved with the Longest Day, which is like another fundraiser. Maybe you don't want to go to an event on one certain day. Maybe you want to do something at your home, or you go to a knitting circle, or you play poker or something and you want to do a fundraiser in that way. In West Virginia, we have the Brain Ball up in St. Clairsville and Wheeling area. And that is a gala, and that's on June 15th of this year. It's a big event, as you know, Tate, because you usually MC it, and it's in its second year. We've outgrown one venue and had to move to another one, so that's a really exciting one. And then if people want to volunteer, they can be on a walk committee, they can be a community educator, they can lead a support group, they can we call them community representatives. They can go to health fairs and take the material and help us to expand how we reach people, because there's only so many staff. And West Virginia's got 55 counties, Ohio's got hundreds of counties, so it's like you want to be at everything, but maybe you can't. So the volunteers help us to expand our reach.
And I think something that's really important for folks to understand through the facts and figures released by the Alzheimer's Association for this year, and this has been true for the last several years, that Alzheimer's and other dementia actually kill more people in the United States than breast and prostate cancers combined. And I really don't think that people realize that it has such a huge grip on our society.
Exactly. People maybe will die with Alzheimer's, or maybe they will die of Alzheimer's. And many, just the people that die of the disease is a large number. The people that die with the disease is even bigger. And we're here to say, we've got, for the first time ever, we're in the era of treatment. There's actually treatment for early stage Alzheimer's disease. It has to be Alzheimer's. It's not for different types of dementia, but it can actually slow the progress of the disease for maybe 18 to 24 months. And I mean, in the last 3 years, we've had two treatments be approved by the FDA. So what could happen if you had another 24 months, to slow the progression of it? I think it's just something that people, you can be a part of research pilots that are going on. And that's another thing. If you go to our website, alz.org, and you input research trials, you'll get hooked up with our trial match program. And sometimes it is nothing more than a survey that they send you to see how you eat and if it runs in your family. And other times it might be something, sorry, I'm working from home, I heard my dog, but where you can go in to an actual in-person, research trial.
And I think that a lot of people don't really understand just how much of an impact that they can have by volunteering and getting involved with the Alzheimer's Association in order to help other people in their communities, because there are so many of us who our lives have been impacted. And from my perspective, I think that many other illnesses throughout the history of human life here on Earth have gotten a lot more awareness behind them. And unfortunately, we're just now kind of trying to play catch up with Alzheimer's and dementia to make sure that people recognize that this disease, unfortunately, is growing, and it's growing very rapidly. And if we don't have volunteers to help us to spread the awareness component and to do all of those things, it's just going to grow out of control to a point to where it won't be sustainable for Americans or the globe long term.
You are exactly right. This is a disease that people, in the first, I think when they first discovered it, when Dr. Alzheimer first discovered it, it was an autopsy on someone, and they were like, okay, well, that's what that is then. And nothing happened for the next, say, 80 years, and then like research in it's only been going on for about 50 or 60 years, like really dedicated research to this disease. So we're in the throes of the young side of it. But this is something where people didn't want to talk about it. They assumed it was normal aging. It's not. If someone is sharp as a tack when they are 2, they should be sharp as a tack when they are 92. So that is, something people just think, oh, it's just normal aging. And it's not normal aging. It's a disease of the brain. And just like you would get heart disease or, congestive heart failure or something, that's what it is, and it can be treated now. But I think the people have to talk about it. We're seeing celebrities come out and share their story, and I'm really grateful for it, because there's almost a stigma attached to it that this is these people are crazy or they've got mental health issues. And I had someone early in this, when I started with the association about 7 years ago, say it's not a mental disease, it is a disease of the brain. And those are two, they're treated differently. And I think that is what you're saying is very important, that people talk about it.
Well, excellent. Thank you so very much for being our guest today, Sharon. We so greatly appreciate you and the work of the Alzheimer's Association.
We appreciate you. We appreciate our volunteers. Anyone who wants to sign up to volunteer, we'll find a way to put you to work. And we really appreciate, we couldn't do it without you all.
And to recap some of the information we just heard from Sharon, if you or someone you know is in need, you can always call the Alzheimer's Association's 24/7-hour helpline at 800-272-3900 or visit alz.org for more information or to volunteer. Now, there are 3 major events in the area that you can participate in to support the Alzheimer's Association. Jarvis Law and Capital Healthcare Network host their 9th annual golf scramble at the Caddis Country Club on Saturday, June 7th. The 2nd annual Ohio Valley Brain Ball Gala will take place on Saturday, June 15th, beginning at 6 p.m. at Wheeling Island Hotel Casino Racetrack. And the Upper Ohio Valley Walk to End Alzheimer's will take place on Sunday, September 22nd at Wheeling Park, beginning at 1 p.m.
We are the first entity in West Virginia to own this innovative technology system for specifically evidence-based for people who are going through cognitive change. And it is called the Tover-TOEFL. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's actually the Dutch word for magic table.
An affordable way to help Ohio Valley residents who may be dealing with the early onset of Alzheimer's or other cognitive decline, utilizing a very unique method.
Coming up, we'll introduce you to a local college professor who says it's not just her job, but also her passion to help those who are facing these growing brain changes. That's when we return.